Starstream system. The Starstream broadcasting was designed to relay its contents to the entire universe. The subscribers were constellations at the top of distant galaxies. The actors were humans like me, and the storyteller that connected the two sides was the Dokja before me. You're crazy. A crazy human. I should have known it when you refused the sponsoring of other constellations. Byung laughed for a long time before opening his mouth again. I don't know how you know about Starstream broadcasting, but I can't accept the offer. I'm a Dokja, not a constellation. I can't be your sponsor. You seem to have misunderstood. I never told you to sponsor me. Huh? I'm well aware that you're a weak Dokja. I don't need your strength. I need your channel. My channel? Since you can't seem to understand me, is there a problem with your Korean language patch? No. What is this? I'll explain it simply. I want to sign an exclusive contract with your channel. Byung made a blank expression before belatedly regaining his spirit. Wait a minute. Do you want to make a stream contract with me now? Yes. A stream contract was originally a contract between Dokja and constellations. The constellation's incarnation would appear on a particular channel, and the Dokja would receive a portion of the coins earned by the incarnation of the constellation as a commission. Originally, the person who was the incarnation wouldn't be able to intervene in this contract. It was called a sponsorship, but the contracted incarnation was nothing but a slave. That's a hit! Byung laughed behind his small fingers. The surrounding atmosphere was changing. I don't know how you know about things, but to think a human dares to mention the stream contract. Moreover, it's a trivial bug with no sponsor. As his tone changed, the surrounding air was filled with killing intent. Indeed, even a low-level Dokja was strong compared to humans. However, it wasn't enough to make me back off. It's worth signing a contract because I have no sponsor. What? What do you think the purpose of a constellation is to enter a channel? At the sudden question, Byung looked like a bad student. From now on, it was a special lecture time for the low-level Dokja. You don't have to be so nervous. You already know this information. But let's review it again to see what it means. Byung was caught in my pace and nodded despite himself. The Starstream subscribers can be largely divided into two groups. One group is the fun seekers who seek to relieve their boredom with the channel. The other group consists of incarnation seekers who want to find an incarnation to contract them. Isn't that right? Yes, that's right. For this reason, you must be able to satisfy one of the two groups in order to become a famous channel in Starstream. In other words, either stick to the fun seekers or the incarnation seekers. You have to track one of them properly. You're moderately well informed, but so what? What does this contract have to do with why constellations subscribe? I don't know how many more hints I have to give you. This is why your number of subscribers still isn't over 3 digits. Shut up. Say it quickly. Seeing Byung thrust his small horns at me cutely, it was hard to believe that Dokja had blown up heads a while ago. Now it's time to stop making fun of him and take a chance. What if there was a channel that could satisfy both the fun seekers and the incarnation seekers? What are you saying? Such a thing is impossible. Even if possible, only for a little while. Byung's were correct. The reason why it was impossible to satisfy all the constellation was due to the characteristic of the incarnation seekers group. The purpose of these constellations was to discover an incarnation. They changed channels as soon as the sponsor selection was over. Due to this, the incarnation seekers were just a group of temporary customers. However, that's a story for when the sponsor selection proceeds normally. What? What if there's an incarnation who doesn't sign a contract with any constellation? In addition, what if that incarnation shows an ability that transcends all over incarnations with sponsors? The existence of a strong incarnation would attract the eyes of constellations. If this incarnation continued to reject selecting a sponsor, the incarnation searchers group would also continue to subscribe without leaving the channel. Wait a minute. Is this why you didn't select a sponsor? Yes, that's right. This is interesting. Byung grinned at me. Becoming the strongest incarnation without a sponsor? Is there such a thing? It certainly wouldn't be a dream to be the best Starstream channel, but such an incarnation can't exist. Do you think so? I admit you aren't normal. You've attracted the attention of constellations from the beginning, and thanks to it, I've also been having fun. However, there's a limit to your delusions. Haven't you noticed it after going through that? An ordinary human can never beat an incarnation. That is the law of the world. I don't know that. You've already missed the opportunity. Look around you. This isn't the main scenario. You failed the sub-scenario, and now your life is at risk. There are no constellations watching you. Really? By now, the constellations must be in an uproar, aren't they? Isn't everyone clamoring for the channel to be opened quickly? Byung was silent. Aren't they all going crazy with curiosity right now? Who is that crazy person who went against the regressor? Is he really a prophet? Can he see the future? If he can see the future, why did he get eaten by the ichthyosaur? Stop! From now on, I'm gonna show it. So shut up and do what I tell you. Do you want to become the king of the Dokkibis? The gaze at which Bi-hyung was using to look at me was changing, and I could hear the sound of him gulping. Bi-hyung was worried. However, in any case, there was nothing to lose if you believed in me here. Bi-hyung's pupils moved quickly. Then let's settle the scenario failure first. Give me 5,100 coins. What are you saying? I didn't fail. Eh? Maybe I met the conditions by now. I loosened my body and then got up from my seat. My cold body was stiff. Bi-hyung still had a stupid expression on his face. Open the channel. It'll start soon. Start? What will... Then the message rang out in the air. The hidden scenario has arrived. Hidden scenario. Commander Slayer. Category hidden. Difficulty A+. Clear condition. Kill the Ichthyosaur sea commander and escape from its stomach. Time limit 10 days. Compensation 9,000 coins. Failure, death. Look, didn't I tell you to be prepared? There were 3 types of scenarios and ways of survival. The main scenario was in charge of progressing the main story, the sub-scenarios responsible for minor events, and the hidden scenarios were open through special conditions. How on earth? Bi-hyung's lips were shaking with shock. Unlike the main scenarios and sub-scenarios that Dokja were in charge of, the hidden scenarios were categorized by their automatic appearance when certain conditions were met. You didn't even know? You little great Dokja. You... What on earth? Anyway, if I can clear this, I'll prove that I have the ability for the contract. Right? Bi-hyung watched the scenario screen with gloomy eyes. He looked at me with a careful gaze and asked, This scenario difficulty is A+. Do you really think you can clear it? Yes. There was a small wave as the Han River water crashing into the wall of the Ichthyosaur's stomach. Bi-hyung was silent for a moment before opening his mouth. Okay, if you succeed in clearing this scenario, then I'll accept the contract. The terms of the contract will be negotiated after the scenario is cleared. So arrogant. Then I'll open the channel again. Please try hard. Oh, wait a minute. It'd be difficult if I left so soon. I had something to check. You have something left to do. What is it now? Bi-hyung's mocking tone was somewhat annoying. Fixing a system error for me. System error? My attributes window isn't opening. No way, the system can't have an error. The system scenario is perfect. Take a look for yourself. Bi-hyung looked at me with suspicious eyes and started to mutter something. The Dokja Bi-hyung has used system interference on you. System interference. It was an absolute interference skill that can only be used by Dokjabis with the right to interfere in the scenario. In fact, it was unclear if the reason why I couldn't see the attributes windows was an error or not. However, at least the Dokja would be able to find out something. That said, if he couldn't figure out, that was also a profit for me. The exclusive skill Fourth Wall is activated. In the next moment, sparks flew out in the air and struck Bi-hyung.